Welcome. We're going through the book titled The Mind's Attainment by Uriel Buchanan. One of the last two chapters was titled The Spirit of Youth, and there were a lot of good points that the author shared, but I want to say that experience definitely is a great teacher. I will share one thing, and it is probably a sign of the times and how much we have progressed forward. I recall when I was a little girl, when a woman was asked her age, she would be very reserved in revealing that information. Now for me, because my father died in his mid-60s, I find it a privilege to say that I am 60 years old. And I will agree as a matter of experience how powerful the mind is. And I say that as a matter of testament because I had been early diagnosed with breast cancer and throat cancer and some other weird autoimmune disease at different times of my life. And each one, through the power of the mind and affirming and declaring that I am healthy, vibrant, and strong, was able to overcome and triumph over those diseases. And mind you, what I have learned about these affirmations that we make, which resonates very much with what the author was stating regarding that the experiences that we are feeling today had to do very much with the similar thoughts that we were projecting at some point in the past, which means that you begin to attract vibrations, you begin to act differently. You begin to slowly, you don't really notice it right away, but you begin to do and say and act in ways that align more like the affirmations that you're making. You begin to embrace more of those positive, healing, beautiful, cheerful thoughts. And as you do that, all the things begin to work in that direction, but it is by the strength and desire of your intentions. And so perhaps the secret of youth is staying active, stay moving, be happy, be joyous, be present, and awaken new hopes and aspirations that will fill your day with the task at hand and also new wonders. While I may be sharing a personal testimonial that I do agree with how the author presented the secrets for that spirit of youth, I'd love to hear from you if there's anything that resonated with you regarding how he proposed that. Either way, let's move on now to Chapter 13, Elements of Success. The one who is persevering will obtain the best things of life. Every great accomplishment is the result of unremitting effort. Persistence is the fundamental principle of all material advancement. One may have great talent without any permanent aim and drift through the years with indifferent success. To get at the heart of things, to be satisfied with slow advancement, to patiently work with concentrated purpose, to faithfully perform the work presented from day to day, will ensure the final attainment of every worthy ambition. Rush and hurry create a habit of mind which destroys the health and causes dissatisfaction and weariness. You must learn to concentrate your thought and effort and gain the power to hold a certain mental attitude for as long a time as may be required to obtain the best results. To practice concentration and gain control over the creative force of thought will enable one who has perseverance and faith to push steadily forward to broader fields of usefulness. If you desire to make the best possible use of your natural talents, to control great interests, to become the leader of great movements which will help the world to advance to a more ideal state of existence, hold your mind in meditation upon the power desired until every obstacle in the way of its attainment has been removed. By faith, perseverance, and concentrated effort, fixing the attention unwaveringly upon the thing that is to be accomplished, you will arouse an element of power which will invariably produce results. You should have some high purpose, some noble ideal to which everything else in life is subordinated. If you have no definite aim upon which to concentrate your energies, your life will be a failure. A person with an ordinary mind, by concentrating his forces on one supreme aim, will accomplish more than the most talented and gifted who dissipate their energies by sending their thoughts in too many directions. By constantly directing the mental forces and holding fast to some high purpose, all downward tendencies and harmful habits will be overcome, and the attributes of the lower nature will be transmuted into the pure gold of lofty character. To turn the consciousness inward, to commune with the beautiful pictures and ideas which the mind creates, to be self-centered, confident, and determined, to listen to the promptings of the higher self, will change every disturbing influence into a wave of harmony and compel the forces of nature to give aid in your upward endeavor. Closely connected with the habit of concentration and dependent upon it is the ability to decide quickly. Irresolution is the cause of many defeats and disasters. While we hesitate, opportunity passes. The best prize is won by the swift and strong. The habit of indecision in trivial matters is caused by carelessness and indifference. In more important things, by fear and lack of confidence. You should cultivate the feeling that you are master over circumstances and are able to control all things by the will. Never acknowledge defeat. Keep your head erect and look the whole world in the face with confidence and courage. Perhaps when a child you have sometimes been left alone in the silence of night in a desolate room. You stood still for a moment and listened. You heard only the heart's rapid beating. Then you saw shadowy forms in the darkness. Then came a nameless fear and the uncontrollable impulse to escape the solitude and stillness. You rushed to the room where your parents were, and perhaps taking a light, they returned with you. Then you saw there was nothing to fear. The phantoms had vanished with the darkness. There are many who are thus haunted through all the years of their life by phantom thoughts, by needless fear, dreading some great misfortune that will never come. Flashing the searchlight of reason through the hidden recesses of the mind, the phantoms you have harbored by thoughts of fear, by doubt and ignorance, will pass away, and you will see yourself dwelling in a universe of truth and love. You will know that you are led by the eternal light, that you are protected by the infinite power. Do not fear. Have faith. Though the shadows of sorrow and adversity gather about you, do not fear. You are a child of the infinite. The divine light within will cause the darkness to flee and the phantoms to vanish. Have courage. There is a power within you which will make you the master over every circumstance and condition. Invoke the aid of the higher potencies. Let the heart be brave, the hand steady, and the will unwavering. Have faith in your power to attain all that is good, all that is true and desirable. Breathe inspiration and life into all effort. Be persistent, hopeful, and patient. It is within your power to gratify the cherished ambition which lies nearest your heart, be it the desire for wealth, love, or fame, for health and happiness, or high attainment in any field of human endeavor. The power to realize your ideals is within yourself. So also are the barriers which stand in the way of present manifestation. The greatest enemies to progress are fear and doubt, weakness and ignorance, and belief in limitations. To come into an understanding of the omnipotence thought will give you the assurance and strength to accomplish seemingly impossible results. You will have faith in your power to overcome difficulties. You will assume responsibilities and command a force and inspiration which will ensure the success of your ventures. Having once commenced an undertaking, if you have faith in your ability to accomplish the desired end, if there is clearness of mental vision and your forces are constantly directed to definite action, true way of success will be revealed. The thing you commence may be more difficult than at first was expected. Unforeseen barriers may arise to discourage your efforts, but by perseverance and a determined will, directness, and energy of action, every undertaking may be brought to a successful termination. You should feel that the work you are doing is useful, that it will be of benefit to humanity. Your ideals should be higher than the accomplishment of mere personal ends, embracing the greater good which results from unselfish work in aiding the world's advancement. All visible things are the result of invisible causes. Your present environment is an expression of past thoughts and desires. To have a beautiful environment, your thoughts which create it must be harmonious. The real elements of success are in the mind. When there is clearness of perception, harmony of thought, force, and determination, there will come a corresponding expression in the outer world. Fill the mind with brightness, banish gloom and despondency, have faith in the supreme power, and work incessantly to demonstrate the law that whatever we earnestly and persistently desire shall be obtained. There are many today who are world-weary, many whose hearts are sad, many who yearn for that peace which never comes, for the strength which has left them, for the old hopes and ambitions that are dead. The fever for gain, the competitive struggle, the rush and hurry for place and power give no time for rest, no time for repose. Wherever we turn, we see the anxious faces, the strained expression, the searching eyes. Activity is in the air. Humanity is moving forward, and as a whole toward the good. But there is a note of discord in the upward movement, the discord of selfish greed, exerting a force that is ever pressing closely about us, driving us like slaves in the name of necessity and duty. We cannot pause. We must act today. If we step aside, others will pass us. Others will take up the work and reap the reward. Since we cannot escape, let us create for ourselves new life and new bodies. Let us renew our strength and vigor, that we may lift burdens from the shoulders of the weary and make use of our gifts to encourage a broader and more generous life. Let us send out an influence which will help humanity to become less selfish, to take more time, to be more patient, and to cultivate repose. The one who can dismiss all thought, all schemes, anxieties, and worrying, and place the body and mind in a state of perfect repose will be able to accomplish more than others whose minds work night and day in one direction. To let go of all elements of discord and despondency, and to change the attitude and direction of your thought to a reposeful condition will attract finer forces and brighter ideas and give greater ability to accomplish results. When the mind is fixed on a certain thing or purpose, it sends out an attractive force which works in the domain of thought to create conditions for the accomplishment of that purpose. There is no need to worry about results. After you have made an earnest demand and have put forth all reasonable effort on the material plane to obtain the thing desired, you should banish all fear and anxiety and have faith in the infinite force which is working through you for your advancement. To hold the thought on one thing or in a certain mood for too long a time without rest will tire the brain and exhaust the vitality. To carry any business in the mind continually will not bring the same results as changing the thoughts at intervals and letting the mind dwell on other things. If you have been working all day in an office with your thoughts concentrated in one direction, when the time comes to leave, let go of every train of thought connected with the business of the day. Enter a new and fresher element of thought, free from care and anxiety. Associate with cheerful and congenial people. You will then go back to your business with more inspiration and force. You will gather new thoughts and ideas and will be more successful in all things undertaken. Repose will lift the mind to a higher plane of happiness and will make all work more agreeable. It will lead into the way of wisdom, will unfold the finer perspective powers, and open to the mind new sources of enjoyment and possibilities of grander achievement. End of chapter 13. Stay here as I will turn the page to the next chapter. So in the meantime, grab your coffee, and depending on what time of day it is, grab your wine as I turn the page to chapter 14, Demand and Supply. The experience you have had and the knowledge you have gained by past effort has been only the preparation of your mind for the accomplishment of things which will surpass all you could possibly have done in former years. If you are satisfied with what you have done in the past and no longer feel the influence of an urging force and desire which gave strength and courage in your early efforts, nothing less than some great misfortune will have the power to break the spell and free your mind from lethargy. But if you have the desire to accomplish greater things, if you find new interest and new sources of pleasure in your daily experiences by concentrating your forces and directing your thoughts toward some definite purpose, you will become more powerful and will achieve greater success. The desire to do a thing, if within the range of human possibility, is a proof that you have latent within you the talent or force required for its accomplishment. Every desire should be gauged by reason. In estimating your possibilities, there should be a logical relation between cause and effect. You might have the desire to still the winds and the waters, to walk on the billows of the sea, to move through the invisible air without material aid. But such desire would be unreasonable and outside of the range of possibility, because not in accordance with the laws of man's nature. But every legitimate desire to make the best possible use of the faculties with which the mind is richly endowed, if accompanied by faithful effort, will invariably obtain results. The exercise of your natural ability may be partially hindered by unfavorable surroundings and the lack of opportunity, but if there is some one thing in life you are determined shall be accomplished, if you persist through every period of weariness and discouragement, if you never lose interest, though you may fail time after time, you will gradually advance from relative success to a final perfect result. A steadfast purpose and never-ceasing desire will arouse the creative energies and send out a force from the mind which will bring you in touch with the progressive currents of nature. You will enter with keener interest into the world's work and will draw toward you invisible forces that are powerful to help. If you feel that you are always to remain where you are, that you are not able to command a better salary, that you cannot do more effective work, that you cannot improve your talents, you are by such thoughts creating limitations which will become more and more difficult to break. If you are lacking in ambition and purpose, if you are negative and indifferent, you are encouraging a state of mind which will eventually enslave you. Progress in any direction is determined by the attitude of mind. The man who, in imagination, is always aiming higher, always aspiring to possess and enjoy the most beautiful things, and always cultivating faith in the wondrous force he feels struggling within for expression, by the law of persistent demand, will invariably attract corresponding conditions. By the thought you are holding today, you are shaping the future, for good or ill. If you have in your mind an image of a bright and prosperous future, if you see yourself in better surroundings, with greater ability and better opportunities for advancement, if you see yourself as being successful in all undertakings, you are using a thought force which will result in the constant improvement of material conditions. Men who are the most prosperous live in a thought atmosphere of cheerfulness. They are always confident, hopeful, and determined. You should carefully avoid the thought atmosphere of the discouraged and despondent. The influence of their negative, confused thoughts will cause depression, unrest, and fear. If you are daily associated with people who are unhealthy, avaricious, and sordid, who live in the belief of the material and perishable, you will be affected more or less by similar influences. It is very difficult to realize the positive condition of mind which is permanently freed from periods of depression, while associating with people who are continually sending out anxious, worried, and discordant thoughts. But clearness and brilliancy of mind and health and strength of body will generate a silent power which will be far more potent than any destructive influence, and every undesirable thought force coming from immature minds can be readily turned into a higher, better channel. The development of the best that is within can be greatly assisted by contact with others who have similar ideals. Sympathetic relationship results in the awakening of higher harmonies. When two or more are united for a common purpose and are working in perfect accord for noble aims, a powerful battery is formed which will draw the thought element and force required to achieve the best results. Mingling the greater part of our time with the mass of humanity, whose minds are dominated by material and sensual thoughts and ignoble aims, we are to a great extent affected by such influences. And for this reason, those who are endeavoring to follow the law which teaches that health, happiness, and freedom from the bondage of sensualism is possible, should keep in sympathetic touch with each other for mutual strength and encouragement. To come in personal contact with one who has demonstrated the power of thought in the attainment of individual supremacy will inspire to greater effort to attain a more happy, magnetic, and positive state of mind. If you have in your mind some plan of work or business that is based upon right principles, if you can produce something the world needs or possess a new idea that will be of interest, if humanity by your effort will be aided or entertained, you should study diligently the workings of mind upon mind, and by silent demand attract a helpful thought element from others who have like desires. If you have an ambition to become a great artist, you will study art and gravitate naturally toward those who have been successful in that direction. If you desire to become a successful writer, you will study literature and the lives of great authors. If you desire to become a rich merchant or to be eminently successful in any branch of the commercial world, you will take advantage of the opportunity offered to associate with those who have been successful in business. Permanent thoughts and desires, faithfully held to through all changes and opposing influences, will attract to you their material correspondence. If you desire success, health, happiness, and all things beautiful, you should associate with people who have acquired these things. To study their ways and methods will give inspiration and help and new ideas. We are always drawing things to us which correspond to our most dominant mood or state of mind. There is a mental condition which will ensure the acquirement of health, happiness, prosperity, and all things desired. It is that mood which is always calm, self-composed, confident, and determined, that state of mind which recognizes its power to attract from the unseen current of realities the material correspondence of every thought demand. As the finer senses are more and more developed, man learns that space is filled with ideas and entities containing infinite possibilities. To fix the mind persistently on some definite purpose, to exert a steadfast drawing power, and to send out thoughts as messengers into the unseen realm of realities in search of the element corresponding to the thing desired will ensure its final attainment. Man's mind is the builder, the creator, the controller of every condition of material environment. There is no limit to the possibilities of the human mind when once freed from the influence of race beliefs and erroneous thoughts. At times when you feel this unlimited power of the mind and will, when you know that there is something within which gives you the power to overcome every influence of adversity. If you will encourage this mood and maintain it permanently, you will increase the drawing force of the mind and will attract to you the association and environment corresponding to your highest ideals. We must grow into a faith in the existence of the Supreme Force and our ability to draw to us an unlimited supply for every purpose and demand. It will come to us and give an increase of strength and inspiration in all effort, all progress, as we learn to keep the mind in the right attitude of faith in the reality of this power and maintain the earnest desire to receive it. Attracting force from the unseen makes all work a pleasure. We feel our nearness to the source of all things and know that nothing can take from us its help and protection. End of chapter 14. Before we go to the next video, hit that like button, share this video with your friends, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel. Let's find out what the higher life is all about on the next video.